Slaw here. I did want to answer a question that I got in a comment about why did I leave Visible. And I went through some of that in a previous video, but to the point, maybe I didn't mention it in the video where I was having some timing issues with the transfer over from Visible to Ting. And I guess to answer the question directly, honestly, it was because of the price. I had another commenter say that, the price wasn't that much. You're only talking about going from what you're paying now, all in at $25 to $30. And that's true, but I have 3 lines with a family that, brings my total to $75 today, or at least it would be $75 if I had 3 lines still on Visible. But you're talking about going from 75 now to $90, and that's not a ton of money. And I understand that it's a lot less than paying Verizon postpaid. So I mean, it's still a great deal, and I'm definitely not knocking the service because what they provide is really great. If you are a data user and you don't mind having a slightly lesser than experience compared to paying Verizon a lot more for postpaid, Visible is a great option, and I definitely can recommend it. And I'll put a link down in the description if you want to try them out yourself. But for me, I was just looking for ways to cut cost, to try different services, make a few videos about them. But I definitely can recommend Visible. And to be honest, I wouldn't have known about Visible if YouTube had not been around. So there's that. So, Visible I liked because it was during the pandemic and I wanted a backup service. They had hotspot, they had, data, and it was a very reliable experience. I didn't have any problems with it at all. It definitely held ground, so much so that I turned my number over to Visible 100%. But this year in 2022, they came out and said that they're having new plans, that they're doing away with party pay. And my understanding too is that, back to the question of why am I leaving from Visible to Ting, and by the way, I do have Verizon towers on Ting. I did make that request because Ting offers service from both T-Mobile and Verizon. So I did take it to customer service, and I asked them. I said, I'm staring at the chat, the snapshot that I have of it, or screenshot that I have of it, and I asked the question explicitly: if I do not make a change this year, will my bill increase next year? And they came back with yes, because the current plan will disappear. And I said, okay, thank you for your help. And that was really the end of the conversation. But I did ask that clarifying question, that if I do nothing, will there be a change? So they don't really advertise that on the website, but my takeaway is that I will not be grandfathered in. In other words, I'm either going to be forced to pick the $3 plan or the $45 plan with more access. So I'm just exploring ways to save money, basically, is the quick of it, and it does give me material to talk about on YouTube. This is a big hobby of mine. It's something that I enjoy having on the side to talk about. So, and to be frank, or to be slaw, I do have, Ting on my phone today, and as I showed in the previous video, I'm running software on Lineage OS. And what I'm really curious about is if you have interest in, I'm talking to my subscribers, and I'm talking to you if you're yet to be a subscriber. I want to know what your interests are in terms of, or if you have an interest in having a device that runs Lineage OS. Because I'm going to tell you something, this Motorola G7 Power is solid. It's a brick of a phone in that it has a 5,000 milliamp battery. So I can easily get by the day on 2 days of use. Granted, I have it scaled down, and I'm not really paying for data. I'm just paying for the Verizon tower service through Ting at $10 a month. But I just took advantage of a promo that Google Fi had for free data. But my plan is to be more or less data free when I'm mobile, and then if I have to tap into data, I can pay for it at $5 a gig as need be. But most of my usage is going to be on Wi-Fi anyway. So all that to say is that, in closing, I can really recommend both Visible and Ting. Both have been reliable. Both have been without problem. I'm going to put links in the description. They definitely help, keep the channel going. And then also know that, the G7 Power I can recommend if you can get an unlocked device. It runs super smooth. It's running on Android 12 through Lineage OS, and it is so snappy. I just can't say enough good things about it. So much so that I'm thinking about selling phones to subscribers. I'll have to think through logistics on that. I'm kind of eyeing some of the Google devices. I've had good experience with Motorola's, and I hear OnePlus is probably a good one to use also to unlock the bootloader and go through the whole process of putting Lineage OS on the phone. So let me know if you have interest in buying a device that runs on Lineage OS. Let me know, and I appreciate you keeping me on the side. Take care.